you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show him who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am Mr. Clark Griswold. Happy to be here. Happy to have you guys here. If you are a first timer to the channel and to the Strat, then welcome to you guys as well. Thank you for being here. You are about to change the way that you guys trade. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so down below. Click that subscribe button and hit that bell. That bell gives you the notifications for when I send out daily videos just like this one, our main watch list. I also send out top 5 watch lists every day. I send out weekly swings, monthly swings, informational videos, motivational videos, learning tools such as the 4-part series I've got on the 30 and 30, how to trade inside bars, which I told you guys to watch before this video so you would know exactly what we're talking about, outside bars, what these numbers mean underneath the candlesticks, what an inside bar is, what an outside bar is, 2 ups, 2 downs, entries, exits, all kinds of other stuff. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. You can comment there, you can ask questions there, you can DM me there, retweet, tweet, like, share, whatever you want. You can also do the exact same thing on every single one of my YouTube videos. Comment down below, ask questions. If you have the questions, there is no dumb questions. Ask them. I am here to help you guys out, okay? Help you along your trading journey. Okay, so with that, let's get started. You can also subscribe by clicking on this Clark Griswold face down in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, first up on the list, guys, KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper. So on Friday close, we had an inside bar. And then I told you guys on the watch list, if we break the high, we go long. If we break the low, we go short. We didn't break either. We had an inside bar, and a lot of plays ended up being inside bars. And I was going to put something out in the morning saying that because there was nothing really moving. Everything was just kind of staying inside. Nothing was really moving higher or lower. They were staying on with inside bars. So we end up with a lot of inside bars for setups, and that's why I told you guys again to watch that inside bar video before we jumped into these. Okay, so we have an inside bar, or a 1 bar. You can see the number 1 at the bottom. A 1 bar in the Strat is an inside bar. And an inside bar does not break the high or the low of the previous candle, okay? This is today's candle. This is the previous candle. We didn't break the high or the low. We stayed inside the range of the previous candle. And that's true on any time frame, whether we're looking at the daily, weekly, monthly, minute, second, hourly, doesn't matter. And what an inside bar shows is consolidation within the stock or the ticker or the ETF or whatever you're looking at. Okay, so it shows consolidation. It acts like a spring. It gets, if you make a spring and get it spring loaded, it explodes into one direction or the other and ends up being a very powerful setup. You can see this inside bar here. If we go back and look in time, we had a big break off of this inside bar. Okay, and we can go further back off of this inside bar, another big break for 2 straight days. This inside bar was not so great, but they don't work out all the time. For the majority, they do. Okay, inside bar here, break, we hit targets. So when I first started becoming successful at trading options, I was trading inside bars only. So if you guys learn one setup and concentrate on that and then move on to the next one is what I always tell people. So for me, it was an inside bar. For you, it might be a reversal, a 2-2 reversal or whatever. But I like to play the inside bars. It's a very powerful setup. So on Keurig Dr. Pepper, we can take calls on this one at 37.40, and then our targets if we go long are just the preceding wicks. Okay, so here, and here. And as we trend, if we trend down, preceding wicks at the bottom of the wick. So here and here. Okay, so that's on KDP. If we go on to the next one, AFRM. AFRM was a 2 up that finished red. So on a 2 up, we only pass the high side of the previous candle. If it was a 2 down, we would only pass the low side, like this one. We only pass the bottom side of the previous candle. But this is a 2 up. It finished red, so we call it a failed 2. Okay, so when I have these 2 ups that finish red, I like to look for reversals to the downside. Okay, we have full time frame continuity. We go into our indicators tab, type in time frame continuity, and the author is Board Rider B. If you want these candlestick numbers, you can type in candle type the Strat. Okay, and I believe if you type in, you know, this TW Holy Grail or TW Golden Indicators, that will give you guys these white bars for the outside bars and the yellow for the inside bars or the 1 bars, okay? So we have full time frame to the downside, and we have first targets here, and our second target, and only when we have a gap. See how there's no candle in between here? That's what we call a gap. So when we have a gap, we take the top of the wick as a target, and then the next wick can be the bottom right here, which would be the bottom of a broadening formation. Okay, so that's on AFRM. We can take puts at $22.16. Pfizer, I don't think I had a setup, but I wanted to put it up here because we are approaching the top of this broadening formation. So if you guys are in Pfizer already, if you're going long on it or, you know, swinging it, when we tag this broadening formation up here, so if we trend up higher tomorrow, let's say we break this top of candlestick here, if we're looking at our first target would be right there, okay? Just as we approach that top of broadening formation. So the broadening formation is a higher high here and a higher high here, okay? So if we tag that, I would be very cautious about taking my profits at that point, okay? You can play this. It would be what we call a 2-2 continuation, and we have almost a PMG, a pivot machine gun setting up, where we have a lower low or a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. We'll see what happens here, okay, on this daily chart. But you could play this 2-2 continuations. I know a lot of people don't like to play them. I don't usually play them, but it's up to you guys. You want to play that 2-2 continuation and take your profits at this target or the top of this broadening formation if they hit, and then go right ahead. I just left PFE in there for that reason, to show you guys that we were approaching the top of that broadening formation. As you can see here, if we zoom out, okay, higher high, lower low to here. Okay, then we come back higher high. We don't quite tag the lower low here, and then we start trending back up. And then this one is from further back. If we go there, lower low to a lower low. And we've trended back up from that point. So, yeah, so I left Pfizer in there for you guys for that reason. So just so we could quickly talk about it. Procter Gamble. I think Procter & Gamble was probably the same kind of idea to look to trend up, but I'm going to take that off of there, and we're not going to talk about PG today. So Walmart, again, this is one of those plays where we've got a 2 up that finished red. Okay, so we can look for a reversal to the downside on this one. We can look for puts at $146.47, and our first targets are the bottom of the green. The day, the week, the monthly, quarterly are all red. The weekly is still inside bar, so let's watch out for this. It's very possible that we have a 2-2 continuation down on the weekly on Walmart. Next up, we've got Adobe, and here's where we start getting into our inside bars that I was talking about. Inside bar, calls at 407.17, puts at 396.60, target 1 to the downside, target 1 to the upside right there. And our second target triggers the weekly long. So if we go to look at the weekly, we have an inside bar on the weekly. Currently we have an inside bar on the weekly. The previous week we had a 2 down that finished green. So I have this trigger here to go long on Adobe on our weekly setups. AMC 2 down, 2 up that finished red. Also preceding an inside bar, actually a 3-1 setup. Okay, so when we have these inside bars, we look for a 1-2-2 reversal. So a 1, 2 up, 2 down reversal. The magnitude on this one is not great. It's very, very small. But the time frame is all to the downside. So we can take call or puts on this one to $11.52. But actually, I'm going to bring that down just a hair. $11.51. Watch if we trigger this that it doesn't reverse on us. Okay, just due to this first pivot point or magnitude. Okay, that's on AMC. ATVI's Activision inside bar on ATVI calls at $78.03, puts at $77.38. You can see on this inside bar that we had on Thursday, a nice run up, hit targets. If we go back, inside bar, really nice run down. Inside bar, this was a gapper that opened up here, so you would look at the gap videos for that. You can play the gaps on either the 15 or the 30-minute time frame. Inside bar, nice break. Inside bar, looks like we opened here to the high side but hit targets. So again, inside bars, like I said, they don't always work, but when they do, they're really, really nice. Okay, so that's Activision. BA's Boeing. Boeing had a outside bar or a 3 bar. We have full time frame to the downside. So I don't often put these up on my charts, but we are looking here for a 2-3-2 reversal. Now, if you want, guys, you can play a continuation. I don't, but you can. So this would be a 2 up, 3, 2 up continuation, or you can look for the 2-3-2 reversal to the downside. And on that play, you would be taking puts at $122.26. And here is your first target at 120.27. Okay, Carnival Cruise Lines. Carnival Cruise Lines, 2 up red. We've got a shooter candle, meaning we've got this wick right here with this body at the bottom. Okay, so we call that a shooter, and it's a bearish pattern. Okay, and the time frame continuity is all to the downside. So we can look for puts at 14.02, and your first targets, again, just the bottom of the preceding wicks. Your next one would be right here at the bottom of this third candle back. Okay, that's on Carnival Cruise Lines. Chewie is up next. Chewie has an outside bar, so again, same thing. We are looking, I don't have it on here, but we are looking for 2 up, 3, which is an outside bar, breaks the high and the low of this candle right here. Broke the high, broke the low. So we are looking for a 2 up, 3, 2 down reversal. Full time frame continuity to the downside. We can take triggers at $26.44. First target right here at the bottom of this outside bar here. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Cisco CSCO 2 up red. And we can take puts on Cisco at $48.88. Okay, time frame continuity all to the downside. DraftKings DKNG 2 up, finished red. Puts at $12.40 on DraftKings. DocuSign, here's another inside bar on DocuSign. Full time frame to the downside. The week is still inside bar. This is our break to the high side for the weekly. We can take calls on this one at $79.98 right here, or puts to the bottom trigger at $74.18. Next up is EW, inside bar on EW, full time frame to the downside. Calls at 97.91, puts, this is off just a hair, puts at $95.82. Ford, ticker symbol F, Ford Motor Company, full time frame to the downside, puts at $12.98, calls at $13.52 on Ford. Fubo, another inside bar, again, full time frame to the downside. We can take calls at 364. If we do end up going to the high side and reversing these, we will reverse the day and the week. And it looks like the month as well. Not quite the month. But we will reverse the day and the week. And this pink line is our trigger to go long on the weekly. Okay, so if we trigger long, we are likely triggering the weekly long as well. Okay, or we can take puts on this one at $3.25 to the downside on Fubo. What a tumble Fubo has taken. Next up, GE has a 2 down that finished green. So remember, we've been talking about 2 ups that only break the high side of the previous candle. Well, a 2 down only breaks the bottom side of the previous candle. But again, we did finish green, so we did finish to the high side. So it's a failed 2. The day, the week, and the month are all green. So let's look for calls on this one at $75.35. And our first target is $75.99 on General Electric. GME 3-1 setup. Okay, so an inside bar, 2 down. We're going to look for a 2 up reversal. I don't know if we'll get it. The time would be going against time frame continuity here. But if we break it, then the day and the week are green, okay? So let's look for calls on GameStop at $99.49. First target, 106.85 at the green line. Google machine. Inside bar, calls at 2,332, puts at 2,286. These are high premium plays on Google, so small accounts need not apply. First target to the upside is the trigger to go long on the weekly. Just as a heads up to you guys on that one. Next up, Hood, Robin Hood. Inside bar on the Hood. Calls on this one at $10.64. Puts at $9.95. IWM. IWM has a 2 up that finished red. Full time frame to the downside. Let's look for puts on this one at this yellow marker here, 176.08. And targets at 174.88 on IWM. Lucid, LCID EV company, 2 up, finish red, full time frame to the bottom side. Puts at $17.24 on Lucid. Lowe's usually has a big spread between the bid and the ask, but I'm having it on here for you guys anyways. You can take calls on this one with a 2 down that finished green. So we can take calls at 196.22. Here is your trigger to go long on the weekly. Lululemon, high premium play, 2 down green. We can look for calls at $308.66. Lyft, inside bar on Lyft, calls at $20.03. Puts at $19.11, full time frame to the downside. Second trigger to the upside is your long trigger on the weekly. MasterCard, high premium usually, and the bid-ask spread is usually not that great. Bottom of the broadening formation here. We'll see if we can trend up from that point. We have a 2 down that finished green. There's your first target. The day and the week are currently green. Okay, MGM has a outside bar, so we are looking for a 2-3-2 reversal to the downside with puts at $34.99. You can see the time frame continuity is all to the downside on MGM. We can go to mRNA, that's Moderna, has an inside bar. A little bit of an interesting one here on Moderna. We can take calls at 141.60. This trigger on the daily is also the trigger for the weekly to go long. Okay, and then puts we can take at 133.82, looks like. And then let's go to the monthly here just to see what this bar is. So the monthly is already triggered once to the downside and tagged the bottom of this broadening formation. So if we go back to the daily, very interesting. So we trigger to the upside, we also trigger the weekly. we trigger to the downside, we also re-trigger on the monthly and head back down to the bottom of this broadening formation. Okay, that's on Moderna. Marvel, MRVL, inside bar on Marvel, full time frame to the downside, so puts are likely at $55. Calls trigger at $57.35. MU, Micron Technology, inside bar, calls at $72.04. Puts at $70.32. The day and the week are red, as are the quarterly and the yearly on Micron. Netflix, 2 up, red, so it's a failed 2. We can look for puts on Netflix at $185.70. Full time frame, as you can see here, to the downside on NFLX. Nike, 2 up, red, puts $111.54. Full time frame to the downside. NVAX has an outside bar. 2 up, 3. We'll look for a 2 down on Novavax. Take puts at $47.97. NVIDIA, NVDA, inside bar on NVIDIA, calls 177.88, puts 171.10, full time frame to the downside on NVDA. Palantir, 2 up, red, shooter, candle, time frame to the downside, puts at $8 and a penny. Plug Power, 2 up, red, puts at $14.48, full time frame to the downside on Plug. You notice there's a ton of reversals here as well. So Rob Smith usually calls this his 2-2 on a Tuesday, reversal Tuesday. So again, 2 up, red on Peloton, full time frame to the downside. We can look for puts on this one at 15.26. QQQ, nice little inside bar in QQQ, full time frame down. Calls at 302.26, first target here. Puts at 297.23, first targets, as I've marked out right there. That's on QQQ. RBLX has a 2 up, finished red. We can call that a shooter candle. Day and the week are red. And we can look for puts at this on this one at $31.43. Roku, 2 up, red, shooter candle, puts $93.06 on Roku. Starbucks, SBUX, inside bar on Starbucks, calls at $75.44, would trigger the weekly long. Full time frame continuity to the downside. Puts we can take at $72.31 to the downside. SE, that's C Limited, another inside bar on SE. SE, full time frame to the downside, calls at $75.33. Weekly triggers at $76 on the pink line, and we can take puts to the downside with the time frame at $69.33 trigger. Snap, inside bar, calls $24.70. Full time frame though to the downside. Puts are likely at $23.34. The magnitude is here, which is not great, so be careful on Snap tomorrow if you decide to play it. SoFi, 2 up, red. Okay, doesn't look like we have a gap to fill there. So we can take puts on SoFi at $6.84. And TTD, I think, is the last one, 2 up, red. So we can, again, look for puts with the time frame continuity to the downside at $50.88. One more here, guys. Citigroup, ticker symbol C, 2 up, red. Take puts on this one at $47.02, full time frame to the downside. Guys, that's the main watch list. Stay tuned for the top 5. If you guys liked the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you thought it sucked, well, give me a thumbs down. Let me know why. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, subscribe down below, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.